Welcome back, Blood Bowlers. We have our first games completed. The only game from week one that isn't complete is the game between Liam and Tom, the Somebodies and the Little Todgers, and that's because Tom's games are on hold at the minute because he broke his collarbone the other week and has had surgery, and he's not in a fit state to play. We do have 4 games to cover because Jim won't be available for when the week 2 fixtures are supposed to be played. They played theirs last night on the opposite week. So, looking here, the matches. We have opening match between Jim and Stu, where that second season elf team really putting Jim's Fatberg squad to the sword with a 3-0 victory. Didn't get the CAS bonus, didn't get the full 11 points, but did pick himself up 9 points for the victory. Jim, unfortunately, not having as much luck, but I think when it comes to the Somebodies and the Anti-Heroes being the 2 second season elf teams, I think all the other teams are going to struggle to a degree, and they're going to need a little bit of luck, which Jim just did not get. And I think the interesting game will be when those two play each other, because I think they definitely both could and should be fighting for the top parts of the table. Looking at OnlyFels and Inducements and the Trompton Harness. I think the game, in my opinion, probably should have been closer in scoreline than it is. At least 2-1, or maybe even 1-1. Because Gavin beat Sam on paper convincingly. But I kept looking over at this game, and I kept popping over, and I think the battle of attrition kind of won in the end because Sam did struggle with personnel on the pitch, but seemed to have plays that went with his favour at times, but not enough to get everything over the line. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. I know Sam is trying some interesting tactics this season and trying a number of unusually interesting tactics, say. Finally, the game against moi and the game against Lee. I think Lee should have scored. Lee should have scored at least one. He actually dominated me on the pitch. Actually out-punching the 4 ogres that I had, even Kazing one and knocking out 2 others at 2 different times. Luckily, the Kaz was badly hurt, which was apothecaried back. A skeleton was killed in rebuttal, as well as one of my snotlings was killed. It was a very bloody game. But no Kaz bonus for either team. I got myself stuck on 2. Lee, was stuck on 1, because I believe the snotling went down from a fell. So with me, I only picked up the clean sheet bonus. I was so close for 3-0 and so close for the Kaz bonus. Lee, so close to that Kaz bonus, but unfortunately picking up very few points in this game. It was an interesting game because I was able to outscore, but I got out-punched, and it was a very unusual game, and I don't quite know how to feel about it. The dice, luckily, were in my favour on the boneheads. I think I only failed like 2 the entire game. But just, yeah, fells galore. I think Lee had 3 sending offs, I think. And I've got to put some money back into getting some new ogres. Well, not new ogres, but more ogres, because I definitely need a full 6. But I just can't afford it right now. But we'll get there, we'll get there. And looking at the week 2 game that was played, and you guys will be able to see what games are coming up next. We did have Lee and Jim duke it out. And Lee, this time, coming back from his 2-0 defeat to win 2-1 against Jim, who's yet to pick up a point. Or at least more than a point, I should say, because he's struggling. He really is struggling. 2 2-1 victory. There was death. Only one on both sides. But a Kaz bonus was awarded. You guys are going to see where that shit lies in a moment, as I'm going to be showing you the table and the stats so far. For this coming Tuesday, which if I just check my calendar, will be the 17th of October. I repeat, the 17th of October. The 17th of October. Stu and Liam, the two teams that I literally just said I want to see play each other, are going to be playing each other. Gavin, I do humbly apologize, but you do not have a game this Tuesday because your game with Tom is on hold for the moment, just until he's better, because, yeah, he's still a little fucked up. He did actually turn up to the club last night and seemed okay, but I don't feel comfortable sticking in him at a table or asking him to until he tells me he feels good. And then finally, I am going to be playing Sam. This is going to be a stunty off, because we've got the Ogres with 4 strength 5s versus the Snotlings with 4 strength 5s. The only difference is, on the Snotling team, those pump trucks are only going to last so long, whereas my Ogres should stay indefinitely. It's gonna be a fun game. I reckon that game is going to be manic. That game is going to be manic. Obviously, for those that don't have games, Gavin, Lee, Jim's away, I know, which is why that game was played early. Feel free to organise exhibition games and play as you see fit, get some practice in maybe. Exhibition games, you can use your league teams, but just know that nothing carries over from them games. No money, injuries, stats, nothing. So, looking at the team table, with 2 games played, 1 win, 1 loss, a touchdown difference of 1, 6 casualties, and 10 league points. Gavin, you are currently top of the table. Stu with only 1 game played, despite there being someone else below on 2, but with a better touchdown difference of +3. I'll scroll across in a second so you guys can see the stats better. Stuart with 9 points. Lee with a -1 touchdown difference, but also 9 league points. In 4th place with 1 game played, 1 victory, and 7 league points is myself. Sam with 1 game played, 1 loss, but a better touchdown difference of -2 is Sam. And Jim, you, my friend. Wait a minute, Jim. Wait a minute, Jim. The Fatberg squad. You should have 2 losses to your name. Why? What have I done? No, I've given your game to Gavin. Oh shit, hang on bollocks. Un momento. Per favor. So, Fear the Blocking Dead. So, 1 and 1. So, Jim had a loss. Jim had... Second, I've got to get that sheet. So, what I've done is I have attributed to Gavin Jim's result. Give me a sec. So, Gavin, you did not get 6 casualties. You got but 4. Gavin, you did not lose there. You did not score 3 touchdowns, and you did not concede any. Congrats, Jim. You did. You did lose twice. You did score a touchdown, but you did have more go against you, and you did 2 casualties. He's going to change the table just a little bit, so you're going to watch me edit this shit live. As we organize points first. In second, we go off of the touchdown difference, then the CAS difference, and then, if teams are still organized by then, alphabetical difference. Okay. That changes things. So now, top of the table is Stuart with 1 game played and 1 victory. In second place with 1 game played, 1 victory is Gavin. In third place is Lee with 1 win, 1 loss. In fourth is myself with 1 win. In fifth is Jim with 2 losses. In sixth is Sam with 1 loss. And then obviously, bottom of the table, doesn't matter because neither of them have played a game yet. Fixed. Good thing I double checked this shit. Looking at the top scorers so far. I'm going to zoom in for you guys. Ooh, no, I don't wish to capture, thank you. In first place, both, is Ezio and Mad Max of the Anti-Heroes with 1. Mr. Cuthbert and Mr. Grubb of the Trumpton Carnies, both with 1 each. Nuka Bob and Nuka Gary of the Nuka-Cola Boys with 1. We have Scapula and Sternum of Fear the Blocking Dead with 1 each. And then Vermin Cholera of the Fatsburg Squad with 1. And Wade Wilson of the Anti-Heroes with 1. In completions, we have Vermin Cholera of the Fatberg Squad with 3. And the Ogre from the Nuka-Cola Boys, Nuka Grape, with 1. In terms of casualties, we have Gigantus Raticus of the Fatberg Squad with 3. We have Clavicle of the Fear the Blocking Dead with 1. Logan and Mad Max, both of the Anti-Heroes, with 1. Mr. Crockett, Mr. Groom, Mr. Minton, and Mr. Pugh of the Trumpton Carnies, all with 1. Nuka Quantum of the Nuka-Cola Boys with 1. Radius and Scapula of Fear the Blocking Dead with 1. That, my guys, is how this table is. I'm going to scroll across so you guys can see all of the stats. So, feel free to pause at any point if you see a stat you would like to observe. I appreciate all of you who watch, who participate, and who obliterate. That is the fixtures for week 2. 17th, I do hope people join. I will happily see you guys. See you later, guys.